commence the proceedings, we will begin with a recitation from the Holy Quran.
الرحمن الرحيم إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره صدق الله العظيم.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. On behalf of the National Disaster Management Authority, I extend a warm welcome to all Excellencies, including our virtual attendees joining from Pakistan missions abroad, as well as representatives from government, military, private sector and humanitarian partners gathered here today to commemorate National Resilience Day 2025. The detailed agenda of the event is as flashed on the screen. Today's event is not just a remembrance, but a commemoration of 20 years of resilience, 2 decades that have tested and strengthened Pakistan's resolve. We honor those who endured, recognize how far we have come, and reaffirm our shared vision for a safer, disaster-resilient future. Ladies and gentlemen, as we recall the tragic moments of the 2005 earthquake, let us take a moment to honor the memory of all those who have lost their lives in natural disasters and humanitarian crises. I now request everyone to please rise to their seats as we observe a moment of silence in their remembrance. May their courage forever remind us of our collective duty to protect and prepare our nation. We now move to a special segment dedicated to the brave souls, men, women, and children who have lost their lives in disasters, yet whose courage and spirit continue to inspire our national resilience. Please join us in viewing the documentary titled Sacrifice and Strength, Pakistan's Resilience Journey from 2005 to 2025.
8th of October reminds us of unfateful day of 8th October 2005 when we had lost heavy in lives, livestock, infrastructure and major services to the communities in the north of Pakistan. It reminds us not only of the day when we had suffered great losses, but it also tells a great story of Pakistan's resilience.
In just 2 decades, the world has changed. Extreme weather events are now the new normal. Pakistan, standing on the front line of this crisis, has endured earthquakes, floods, heat waves, and glacial bursts with unrelenting frequency. Each year marked another trial, yet each test forged resilience. Today, we pause to reflect. This is the story of sacrifice and strength, the resilience journey of Pakistan and its people. October 8, 2005. A 7.6 magnitude earthquake tore through Azad Kashmir and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. In minutes, entire towns crumbled. Over 73,000 lives were lost. Millions were displaced. Yet amid devastation, Pakistanis united. Neighbors dug with bare hands. Volunteers carried food up mountains. The armed forces airlifted survivors. And humanitarian partners rushed in aid. The pain of 2005 became the foundation for a new era of disaster management. The following years tested every corner of the country. In 2010, monsoon rains triggered the worst floods in living memory. 1/5 of Pakistan was submerged. 20 million people affected, nearly 2,000 lives lost. Floods returned in 2011 and 2014. In 2015, a deadly heat wave claimed 1,200 lives in Karachi within days. Drought struck Tharparkar and Cholistan. Avalanches and glacial floods swept through the north. Then came 2020 COVID-19, a disaster of a different kind, demanding resolve in health and solidarity. The biggest trial of our resolve came in 2022. Supercharged monsoon rains impacted 1/3 of the landmass of Pakistan. Over 33 million were affected, 1,700 lives lost, billions in damages. Entire districts became inland seas. Climate experts later confirmed climate change made the rains 50% more intense. Pakistan, contributing less than 1% to global emissions, was bearing the brunt of a warming planet. But even in grief, resilience grew stronger. Each disaster reinforced the will to adapt, endure, and survive.
It's just one of many rescue missions taking place in Pakistan, parts of which have been deluged by floods after weeks of unprecedented monsoon rains.
पक्का में टिबीवड्डा का हिफाजती बंद टूटने से कई देहात डूब गए। बहावलपुर में भी तबाही, दर्जनों इलाके ज़ेर-ए-आब। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म की NDMA को इमदादी कार्रवाइयां तेज करने की हिदायत। मुमकिना खतरे से 2-4 इलाकों से बर वक्त इनखला की तैयारियों का हुक्म।
In every calamity, our resilience grew stronger. Families formed human chains in Punjab floods. Sindhi fishermen ferried stranded villagers. And Chitrali youth trekked for hours with relief supplies. In 2010, communities opened worship places and homes to millions displaced. In 2022, truckloads of food and medicine poured into Sindh and Balochistan, sent by fellow citizens, students, traders, farmers, all became volunteers. In 2025, a shepherd became the bearer of EW, saving many lives in the process. Equally vital are our responders, from our armed forces to rescue 1122, and volunteers risk their lives daily. Civil society, NGOs, and international partners stood shoulder to shoulder with us, helping rebuild homes, funding relief, and extending solidarity. Together, governments, citizens, and the world, we faced each storm with unity and courage. Proactive disaster management. Each disaster carried a lesson. Today, Pakistan is better prepared. NDMA's National Emergency Operations Center monitors rivers, weather, and seismic activity and all hazards around the clock. Early warnings now reach millions via SMS, radio, official public announcements, TV, and NDMA mobile app. Preparedness extends to communities. Simulation exercises, school safety program, inclusive DRR initiatives, safer building codes, stronger embankments, tree planting to reduce floods and landslides. Coordination has improved too. NDMA works closely with provincial teams, the armed forces, media, and humanitarian partners, so that when alerts sound, responders know their role. Step by step, Pakistan is weaving resilience in face of disasters and natural calamities. From 2005 to 2025, Pakistan's journey has been one of pain, transformed into progress. We remember the thousands lost and honor their memory by building safer futures. We also celebrate those who rose, survivors, responders, volunteers, all Pakistanis who braved floodwaters, citizens who gave selflessly. Their strength is our national legacy. Today, Pakistan is not a victim of disaster, but a beacon of resilience, with NDMA at the forefront of preparedness and unity as our compass. Our vision is clear: a Pakistan that is safer, stronger, and more resilient, where 241 million people thrive despite threats. The trials will continue, but so will our courage, as our founding principles remind us: unity, faith, discipline, and the unshakable truth that no disaster is greater than the resilience of Pakistanis. United in adversity, we rise, always, forever, stronger than before.
Today, at the Resilience Day of Pakistan, on 8th of October, every year, we reiterate our promises of getting more prepared, getting responsive, comply to the instructions which have been foremost in the disaster management, that's so in the proactive disaster management board. And inshallah, in time, we will also showcase that Pakistan is able to not only withstand the challenges on its own steam, but it's also capable of projecting its readiness in a way that it is no more most vulnerable country in the world. Allah Pak may be kind, and Pakistan Zindabad.
Resilience grew stronger with time. As we commemorate National Resilience Day, let us now listen to the special messages from the national leadership of Pakistan, reflecting the nation's resolve and vision for a resilient future. For that, I would like to invite Brigadier Tahir, Executive Director, E&M, to deliver the message from the Honorable President of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the message from the President of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. On 8th October each year, we come together in a solidarity with the families who have endured the devastating impacts of the national disasters. This year carries a special significance as it marks the 20th anniversary of 2005 earthquake, which inflicted immense destruction in Azad Jammu and Kashmir, parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Islamabad capital territory. We bow our heads in remembrance of the thousands of the lives lost while paying the tribute to the resilience and unity of our people in the face of such adversity. This year, we experienced yet another monsoon-induced unprecedented flood with a different pattern in areas than the past super floods of 2010 and 2022. As we commemorate this day, a number of affected population is displaced, as their area are still inundated. These floods are a stark reminder of ever-growing threats of climate change. Despite our negligible contribution to the global carbon emissions, Pakistan continues to bear a disproportionate share of its consequences. Over the years, Pakistan's disaster management framework has made important strides transitioning from a reactive to a proactive approach. With NDMA's National Emergency Operations Center harnessing advanced technology for early warning and risk assessment, our national response has become more coordinated and resilient. Yet, the scale of recent disasters underscores the urgent need for stronger preparedness, sustainable development, and whole of society engagement. As a nation, we have endured earthquakes, floods, cyclones, and other calamities. Each test has revealed the strength, compassion, and resilience of people of Pakistan. I firmly believe that as in past, our people will continue to stand by one another with generosity, sacrifice, and resolve. For countries like ours, consistent global engagement is essential as we simultaneously recover from present disasters and brace for those yet to come. Investing in preparedness and risk reduction is far more economical than recurrent post-disaster spending. I urge all stakeholders to align their efforts accordingly. On this National Resilience Day, I call upon all federal and provincial institutions, stakeholders, civil society, academia, and private sector to work in synergy to reduce the disaster risk, enhance preparedness, and safeguard vulnerable segments of society, particularly women, children, the elderly, and persons with disabilities. May Allah guide us in building a safer, stronger, and more resilient Pakistan. Pakistan Zindabad.
Now I would like to request Ms. Ifat Imran Gardezi, Executive Director, International Collaboration, who will present the message from the Honorable Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege to read out the message from the Honorable Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Muhammad Shahbaz Sharif, on the National Resilience Day. I quote, "Today, on the 20th anniversary of 2005 earthquake, not only we are reminded of the immense losses and damages to the infrastructure, but also of the incomparable courage with which the nation rose in unity to recover from the catastrophe. The devastating earthquake of 2005 remains etched in our collective memory, a tragedy that reshaped communities and validated the strength, compassion, and resilience of the people of Pakistan. This year, Pakistan again faced climate fury through devastating monsoon floods, which displaced millions, inundated vast swaths of land, and caused colossal damage to homes and livelihoods. Alhamdulillah, we once again exhibited our traditional resilience against climate-induced natural hazards. Despite all odds, the government of Pakistan remains firmly committed, standing with its people in trying times of post-disaster recovery. We have learned to mobilize all national resources through all-out support of provincial governments, armed forces, rescue services, humanitarian partners, private sector, and the civil society. While the task ahead has always been enormous, the resolve remained matching, vibrant, and errant. We must continue to learn from past experiences and adapt our strategies to an evolving climate reality that spares no nation. Floods, earthquakes, heat waves, forest fires, droughts, urban flooding, and glacial melts are all stark reminders of the risks we face. Building resilience in such a complex environment demands a comprehensive and proactive approach enabled by reliable data, advanced risk analyses, and targeted preparedness. Alhamdulillah, Pakistan today possesses credible early warning systems and disaster management capabilities through technologies housed at the National Emergencies Operations Center of the National Disaster Management Authority. Inshallah, we would continue replicating greater synergies, shared best practices, and whole of the system act to protect our people. I urge all citizens from urban centers to rural villages to participate in disaster preparedness initiatives, learn from local disaster management efforts, and advocate for sustainable practices to mitigate climate-related risks. On this National Resilience Day, I reaffirm our government's vision to strengthen national capacities of disaster risk reduction policies and protecting vulnerable segments of the society. Together, with unity of purpose, we will succeed in shaping a safer and more resilient Pakistan. May Allah grant us strength. Ameen. Pakistan, Zindabad.
Collaboration lies at the heart of effective disaster management. Let us now watch a short video summary highlighting NDMA's proactive method and role in managing disasters in partnership with humanitarian responders, reflecting our collective strength, coordination, and commitment to saving lives.
NDMA, National Disaster Management Authority, is the lead federal agency responsible for managing the entire spectrum of disaster management activities in Pakistan. NDMA plays a pivotal role in coordinating the country's formal disaster response. Working year-round, it ensures Pakistan is not only prepared for emergencies, but also capable of acting swiftly when disaster strikes. In 2025, when emergencies unfolded across the country, National Emergencies Operations Center remained actively engaged. Throughout National Disaster Calendar, from winter hazards to heat wave, forest fires, hailstorms, floods, and landslides, the response was timely, organized, and effective. Early warnings were issued, emergency alerts were disseminated, and coordination with responders was swift, helping to reduce loss of life and limit damage to livelihoods. But response isn't just about alerts, it's also about action. During these critical months, NDMA extended relief assistance to all affected provinces. Essential supplies including tents, blankets, ration packs, and other life-saving items were dispatched across the country. These efforts helped ease the suffering of thousands of families facing rain emergencies. But no relief effort stands alone. NDMA coordinated closely with armed forces, ensuring rapid airlifts, rescue operations, and delivery of essential aid to remote and inaccessible areas. Support from the national resource, humanitarian partners, and international organizations, including UN agencies, NGOs, and INGOs, further strengthened the national response. Together, these partnerships turned plans into action, bringing timely assistance to those who needed it most. The role of NDMA doesn't end at Pakistan's borders. NDMA has proudly carried forward Pakistan's tradition of solidarity with nations in crisis, offering global humanitarian assistance in times of dire need. On direction of Prime Minister of Pakistan, relief consignments have been dispatched to Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Afghanistan. It is reflection of Pakistan's unwavering commitment to humanity. In the same spirit, Pakistan has gratefully received humanitarian assistance from its international partners and friendly nations. Whether responding at home or extending a hand abroad, NDMA continues to embody the spirit of service, humanity, and resilience.
Gentlemen, it is my privilege to invite Lieutenant General Inam Haider Malik, Hilala Imtiaz Military, Chairman NDMA, to present his reflections on Pakistan's resilience mission.
To create options for the future water storages before the monsoon 2026 strikes back. We're also looking at the opportunities of these wetlands, not only in the plains of Punjab or the traditional waterways in the river courses. We're also looking at extending them to the mountainous areas where we can hold significant waters, and also look at the possibility of energizing the areas close to our traditional areas of monsoons close to the rivers. We're also looking at the opportunities where we'll not only go for the opportunities to add more into the areas, but also looking at how to manage our disasters in the glacial north of Pakistan. Now, here we would like to collaborate lots of technology and enabled technologies with drones, satellite, remote sensing, the ground sensors and other technologies, not only to bear a promise for glacial melting, but also looking at how we can induce more synergy in the local responses. Sirs and madams, we are also very grateful for everybody who has joined us today, and we will also look forward to the opportunities to have more collaborative details in the next years to come. I thank once again to everyone who has contributed from Team NDMA, because these are the technologies, these are the new ideas which have also woven promise for the future strategies of natural disasters in Pakistan. We would continue to develop the early warnings of many months in advance, and these are all the actions that we would like to do to take the charge of the academia input, do lots of exercises with the local responders and the people, and then ask people to also rebuild their stocks, their provincial strengths. And when the disaster will be closing by, the local institutions like PMD, the NDRMF, they are also joining. And after the disaster, the traditional recovery will go on.
Thank you very much, Pakistan. Zindabad.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, moving to the next segment of our program, it is my honor to invite our chief guest, Mr. Khalid Hussain Makzi, Minister of Science and Technology, to address the gathering and share his views.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, representatives of the United Nations Partner Humanitarian Development Organizations, team members of the diplomatic community, academia, private sector, officers of National Disaster Management Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, we have gathered here today to remember a sad day which took place on this day in 2005. And the earthquake which took place in Azad Kashmir, and the effect and the disaster and the deaths were enormous. I mean, really sad. And the after effects, still today, the people who are disabled. Disasters and by nature, and now new age disaster by humanity-induced carbon footprint. See, nature will work its way and will do its thing. In addition to the new thing which we talk about today is we try to reverse it. Now, disasters happening and their effect is there. But what we have to learn how to live through it, how to survive and live as humans. Great. When somebody does something wrong, it's so inhuman, you know. I mean, so first of all, we have to learn how to live together, how to help. And naturally with modern technology, advanced information, which is a great thing, which I had visited this place before General Saab had given us, and I was really impressed. At least it prepares you mentally on ground also, because the size of the disaster is so big that human beings can do only much to help and, give at the time when it's happening, and then recovery is the second part, which is very important also. But what we have to learn here is that, when disasters take place, things happen, the best part should be, which I request and I say, is that when the support is coming, the local population has to participate in making sure that whatever is delivered reaches to the people who are affected. We always have problem with the population that everyone seems to be needing it because they think that we are also affected. Rather, they are not affected. So it really makes it difficult for the local population, local administration, and as well as the people who are supporting and aiding. Having said that, but see, we are living in a place which has now become very small. It's a global village, connected. For sure, people help, aids come. New technologies help. we have come a long way. But we have to understand one thing, that sharing and caring is the best weapon. If we have that, even the little aid which comes can be of great effect, So, as I was invited, I am thankful to General Saab that this is a very sad and special day to remember. And I am thankful to all the guests here for listening to my little bit of speech which I could, share with you, my feelings. And I thank you all again